Net loss, the harmful cost of shark nets. This documentary highlights the issues of shark nets between Wollongong and Newcastle. Shark nets have been the cause of debate for the past couple of years due to their ineffectiveness and harm to sharks and other sea life. The documentary will feature interviews with marine biologists, conservationists, politicians, lifeguards, and local residents. More than 85% of Australia's population lives in coastal regions of the country, meaning there is a deep connection to the ocean and the life that lives within. For many Australians, the harm of sea life living right on their front doorstep is heartbreaking. The documentary will aim to help people who are unaware about the harm of shark nets understand that they are dangerous to sea life. The angle that I will take will highlight that majority of animals caught in shark nets are not target animals or species, such as turtles, whales, and dolphins. It will aim to push a notion that shark nets should be removed to prevent harm to wild sea life. The documentary will follow the structure of introduction, interview with an expert or conservationist, will then lead to asking questions such as what is the government doing to change this and how can swimmers feel safe, interview with a lifeguard or resident about how swimmers can feel safe in the water without shark nets, and the conclusion. My aim for the documentary is to use a participatory and expository mode of representation, blending interviews with marine experts, locals, and conservationists to explore the impacts of shark nets between Wollongong and Newcastle. A creative approach I would like to use throughout the film would be to have a narrator over the top of B-roll and establishing shots. This expository documentary mode helps visibly and audibly assist the film, making it more engaging. Another approach I would like to explore is looking at a more emotional angle through interviews, giving the viewer a deeper understanding of the impact of this issue. This is where the participatory part of the documentary will be featured. My first case study, I'm analysing a documentary which was filmed on the Gold Coast in 2020, the Sharknet film. It highlights the unintended harms of these shark nets to not only the targeted sharks, but also innocent marine life. The documentary features interviews with multiple parties involved in the removal of shark nets, such as marine biologists, lifeguards, conservationists, and local residents. Through these interviews, filmmakers have challenged the idea that these nets are not the best way to protect our beaches. Parts of this documentary I would like to adapt into my own would be the range of interviewees featured, giving more insight to the viewer about how prevalent this issue is. My second case study, I looked at Andrew Callaghan, who is an American political filmmaker who publishes his short-form documentaries on YouTube. Andrew adapts a gonzo journalistic style approach to his interviews, which highlight a more emotional perspective of issues rather than focusing primarily on the facts and the truth of the matter. Andrew also films his documentaries with a completely unbiased standpoint. For my documentary, I would like to adapt the gonzo journalism and the narrative structures that Andrew Callaghan uses for his films. Andrew Callaghan adopts a similar style to that of Louis Theroux. Ethical and legal considerations. The main ethical and legal considerations for this documentary will revolve around the interviews with particular parties. All interviews will be conducted with informed consent and permission from the interviewees. If interviewees request certain levels of privacy before publication, that will be respected. The main goal is to have the individuals feel as comfortable as possible. Another legal issue that needs to be closely monitored is defamation of individuals. To avoid this, there will be no name dropping when pointing blame about the shark nets. Certain permissions may be required to film in certain areas of the Illawarra region. Such permissions will be sought after. The production will be set across a 6-week period concluding on the 17th of June when this assignment is due. There will be 4 primary roles involved throughout the filming and editing of the documentary: camera and filming, audio, script and editing, interviewer and director. Though all members will be assigned particular roles, we will work together to bring the documentary together, especially when it comes to editing and the stylistic choice. The production schedule will include multiple days shooting spread across this period, with times to be confirmed based on location and availability. Locations will be selected according to the needs of each scene, with considerations for access to power, acoustics and lighting. All locations will be filmed within close proximity of the university or at the university, so all modes of transport are available to get around: bus, walk, bike or carpool. This is the shooting schedule. This is my proof of concept. For the first proof of concept, I provided about 1:30 of the stylistic choice I'm aiming for, which includes narration, something that I want in the documentary. It's just establishing shots of the beach in the Illawarra area. For the second link, I provided a documentary in which I filmed last year, which includes an interview with Jess Whitaker, who ran for Senate this year. Jess currently is a council member for Wollongong, and she's a big advocate against shark nets and drumlines. Jess is someone who I would like to interview for this documentary and someone who I have contacts with.